Took me 4 years, but I finally got that win.
What are you so happy about? You've upset the natural balance.
The natural balance?
You've created a disturbance, and now everything's chaos.
What are you talking about?
Look around the league. The Avalanche lost to the Blues by 6 goals.
Okay, one game with a weird result.
The Coyotes scored 6 goals of their own against UC Soros.
The Yotes are better this year.
The Penguins held on to a third-period lead.
All right, that's kind of weird.
The Blue Jackets were part of an entertaining hockey game.
The world's not going to end because there are a couple weird results tonight.
Boys, you're not going to believe this. Skinner has posted a shutout through 2 whole periods.
Oh my God. We're f***ed.
Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is not a dub. Not a dub. And I'm going to say something that's going to make some of you maybe turn off the video. We deserve that loss. I know this stuff we're upset about. I know. And trust me, I'm there with you on that. There's a couple things that I would like to nitpick, particularly with the Zebras. But, and I know you're probably sick of hearing this with me being like, well, the refs were bad, but we probably didn't deserve to win that one. We really didn't deserve to win that one. Right? I mean, think about the first 10 minutes of the game and just getting, I mean, very few shots, but we got the early goal, and we're going to go over all this, but we get the early goal, and then Swayman has to make 3 point-blank saves. Like, first half of the first period. Look, Swayman's part of the team, goaltending is part of the team, a good goaltender makes the difference. Like, I get, like, I say that all the time. I get it. But great goaltending can only go so far, right? It's still a game where stuff gets in the back of the net. And I thought, and I really feel like I'm correct on this one, Montreal maybe didn't outskill us throughout the game. I'd probably actually say no to that. But out-hustled, out-physical, definitely out-physicaled. I don't even know what the hit totals were. I'm not even talking about hits. Board battles, face-off scrums, just general physical presence in front of the net on either end of the ice. I thought Montreal, hate to say the old cliche, but thought they wanted it more, man. They were all over us for pockets of this game. And again, it wasn't really about skill, and it wasn't really about hits. It was winning the battles against the boards, in the dot. I thought Montreal did a better job of it. Ugh, I hate saying it. I hate complimenting that team. And also, let's talk about this team. 6-5-2 coming into this one. So one of those fake winning records. I hate that. Well, that's a winning record right there. Like, they have 6 wins and 7 losses. Just 2 of them are in overtime, so it's a winning record? No, get out of here. Now they're at least 500, 7-5-2. Good for them. Good for them. They are 22nd in goals scored, 21st in goals allowed. They have a middling power play and a bottom of the third penalty kill. How did they even 500? But I guess they're bad in their bad games and they're good in their good games. I guess that's just how it is. And there's not a lot to be afraid of with this Montreal team, in my mind. It's not something that you wouldn't go into a 7-game series against them and be worried, but hockey's hockey. Sometimes you lose these ones. Jake Allen's been solid for them, a .910 save percentage through his starts, a 3-2-1 record, I believe. But we will play the worst goaltender, as usual. Montembeault, Sam Montembeault. What a great name. What a great name for a goaltender. I really like it. .902 save percentage on the season, and he has over 3 goals allowed per game. He would have a good one against us. Oh, my goodness. It just... You hate losing to the Habs, man. You hate losing to the Habs. These are some notes. This is a note that I made, actually, before this game started. It says, I never feel like the rosters matter in these matchups. These franchises know the history, and unlike the Panthers, where I said it's hard to consider them real rivals with just the one historic collapse, unlike the Panthers, it's hard to consider real rivals. The bad blood between Montreal and Boston stays strong throughout the years. Again, I think that's accurate. The Bruins, though, haven't lost a game to Montreal since 2019, November 5th. So it's been over 3 years, if my math holds. 4 years? That obviously would end tonight. They have Kirby Dach out for the season, Weidman out indefinitely, and Savard out for at least another 4 weeks. Montreal's not really looking to compete this year. If they do, it's a bonus, but again, they're still in that rebuilding phase, that retooling for phase. And so they still have a couple of years of working through some things. On our end, Lauko is going to return. Good for the boy. He is wearing wrist guards, neck guards, and a full cage, and I am not going to blame him one little bit. Why I would blame someone for wearing safety equipment is beyond me anyway. That was a weird statement. McAvoy returns after 4 games being suspended, and he would look good. He looked ferocious, ready to play. Lucic, Grizz, Geeky still remain out. Shattenkirk scratched. Before the game, they listed it as because Mitchell was doing so well. I think it was more because we are trying to load manage an older vet. The lines remain the same offensively outside of Lauko going in for Brown on that 4th line. Defensively, we do get a shakeup. Lorai Mack, Lindholm, Carlo, Forbort, Mitchell. I know a lot of you were very excited about Lorai Mack. Lorai did well. I actually thought this was a step forward for him. Van Allen on Twitter actually said the same thing, but I thought it was a step forward for him in general with this game. He was a lot more consistent. There was one play that he mismanaged a puck with about 4 minutes left and almost cost us, the game on that one. But right now he's still working through some of those mistakes. I'm looking for more consistency across the board. Last couple games, I didn't think he had that. I think he was very erratic. A lot of you are going to sit there and go, like, he's not erratic. The turnovers he would have or the forced plays he would have, particularly late in the game, is what I'm really referring to there. I was really worried that there was too much of that for him to stay. And I was still leaning towards setting him back down so he can get massive minutes and stuff. But if Matt can be a safety blanket and he can perform well, why not keep him up? Mack's basically Grizz's safety blanket. And Grizz is a great defender, but Mack is just as elite as they come. Swayman's going to be in net. He goes into this game with a 6-0-0 record, a 950-something save percentage, a 140-something goals allowed average. Dude's just been a stud, and he deserved way better than he got from this game. The amount of saves that he had to make that were simply, if that went in, you'd be like, well, yeah, obviously that goes in. Just nuts. I got one last note here. Fuck the Habs. Nice. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. Let's talk about this game. Puck drops! The first 30 seconds, bit touch and go there. But this next 6 seconds were really good. No, first 30 seconds of the game are great. We jump all over them immediately. The Bruins get in transition. They're buzzing down the ice, and we arrive in waves. First, I believe it's Marchand who leaves for Pasta, but Pasta isn't quite in line with it, so Lorai comes in, dekes through Pasta and a defender, and then tries the most complicated give and go on the planet by refeeding Marchand, who's over in the right circle. That doesn't go right. Ends up skittering to the right corner. Marchand's going to jump up that, fling it up to the right point, where it is going to get fired on net by McAvoy, who sees Zacha there. So again, that hip height is kind of where you want for a good tip. That's where he gets it. Zacha does this weird churn and butter motion, hits off of his stick, and beats Montembeault low blocker. And it's 1-0. And I'm going to be really honest about something. I went 10 goals. Let's get 10 against this team. We've scored 36 seconds in. 10 feels reasonable. We would not get that. And I feel pretty fucking stupid for even thinking it. But good job on my brain. The old electric meatball coming up with stuff. You know how it goes. Less than 30 seconds later, it's a great chance by Dvorak after Heinen gets stripped the puck away from him. Swayman knocks it down. Glove side attempt. Nothing. We're fine. A timely save. That was a prime scoring opportunity. Swayman keeps it out, showing that he's the better goalie than Montembeault. That's just how it works, because we have better goaltending. And then midway through the period, the fourth line has the Habs pinned in their zone. But one puck bounce later, and it's a 2-on-1. And Forbort, great job by Forbort on this play, freezes the play, freezes Monahan by completely taking away the pass. His positioning's perfect. It really doesn't look like a pass is going to get through. Monahan really wanted to pass that puck, but as he skates in on Sway, decides to settle, slow down, and then he also fires glove side, and Sway stones him as well. That was 2 of 3 really great chances in the first 10 minutes. The rest of the period would go by. Shots are 6-6 at the end of the period. Not a very active period. Just a lot of messy hockey. Ton of turnovers. There are little scoring chances here or there based off of the turnovers. Messy hockey, though. Just didn't seem like anyone could really connect, and whenever they did, they missed the net by 4 feet. This was such a weird game, honestly. At the Bell Center, maybe the nerves were going for everybody. Who knows? Second period starts. It's been a track meet for the first 7 minutes of the period. It's back and forth. It's hold your breath. Frantic races for the pucks because, again, no one can connect. No one's going tape to tape. It's poor puck management left and right. Everyone's just diving all over each other, and there are some scoring chances mixed in there. But nothing comes to fruition. 7-11 in. Pasta thrown down on a breakaway. Holding's going to be the call on Kovacevic. Sure. Power play time. It is a scary first 30 seconds where Swayman has to make multiple saves, but after we settle, it's another minute and a half of an excellent power play. Including a chance for Marchand, who the puck gets deflected. It's at an open net. Wide open net. And a defender gets his stick there with a shaft of the stick, deflects it away, and deflects it through the goal crease. 5:15 left. Carlo's going to go for hooking. All right, that's fine. It's been about a minute and a half of a shooting gallery. Cannot get the puck out. And then, 26 seconds left. Zaka's going to go for tripping. This is a pretty soft call, but Anderson falls down. So 5v3 for 26 seconds, and then a $1.34 of another 5v4. And I know what most of you are thinking, like, oh, this refereeing crew let everything go in the first, and there was plenty to call. And then for the first half of this period, outside of the, hey, this guy was yanked down on a breakaway, they have let everything go. And now they're calling these super ticky-tack penalties out of nowhere. Like, they've set the tone of the game. This is something I really hate when referees do. Like, hey, this is our threshold. And then midway through the game, they're just like, we are changing the threshold. We're changing everything. Either way, pretty fucking annoying. But we kill them both because we're fucking animals. And then the one that bothered me. 1:27 left. Pasta shoots, and as he's bringing his stick back down, catches a little piece of the defender. They call him for high sticking. A play that I was surprised to see called like that because we typically don't see that called. But we're going to go to the penalty kill. And that bothered me because at the end of the period, in a 1-0 game, which we have not been dominating, we're basically just holding on to this 1-goal lead. They just started blitzing us with any call they could find. And again, not too many good calls in that mixture, especially when you consider the first 30 minutes of the game where everything was legal. But we go to the third. 24 seconds in, we're still on the penalty kill. Montreal gets in, they get set up, and you don't see this go in too often on Swayman this season, but it's a shot from the right point. He just doesn't see it. Forbort tries to block it, isn't able to get the block on it. I believe Monahan's in front of him. It's Suzuki who actually shoots the puck. Monahan's in front of Swayman. He can't see shit. Glances off his shoulder and in. And it's 1-1 on a power play goal for them. All right, fine. You got to earn this win. You haven't been doing enough to earn this win. You're being out-battled up and down the ice. You couldn't just hold on to the 1 goal the whole game. And look, you probably knew that anyway. You can't expect Swayman to shut him out, right? Time to get back to scoring. And then 27 seconds later, a team is going to get back to scoring. Obviously, it's not our team. Montreal goes right back into the zone. They win a battle to get the puck to the point, and it's a hard shot, and it's deflected by Gallagher. Swayman makes a crazy save. Honestly, after deflection, knocks it down. Huge. But it was one of those, hey, I'm doing everything I can just to make the first save. Gallagher's untouched. Makes the first save. Gallagher just gets the rebound, circles around him, and flips it right by him. It's 2-1. 27 seconds, 2 goals. Tough way to start the third. because you're less than a minute in and you went from a 1-goal lead to 2-1. And it's frustrating because it felt like that first goal on the penalty kill didn't feel very fair. But that's all right because bad calls happen. And then 2:05 in, Lauko, dump and chase. Lauko works his ass off, going through a blatant holding call, and there's a reason I bring that up, but he's got a defenseman holding his jersey. He just rips away, wins the battle, is able to get to the puck, flings the puck up to Mitchell, right point, hammers it on net. I believe Steen gets a piece of this, who's coming across of Montembeault, and it beats Montembeault low glove. 2-2. Excellent. They challenge for goaltender interference. Now, here's why it was goaltender interference. I know you don't agree, and I don't love it either because it doesn't feel like the spirit of the rule. It does not feel like the spirit of the rule. Steen is technically makes contact in the blue paint. The blocker, technically above the blue paint. If you make contact with the goalie in the blue paint while a puck goes past him, it's waived. The goal's waived. Like 98% of the time, it's waived. That's what happened. Did it affect Montembeault's ability to make the save? Doesn't seem so. Really doesn't. Was there a lot of contact? Nope. Did it move his body at all other than a bit with the blocker? No. So I'm right there with you. By the letter of the law, technically, it's goaltender interference. So they pull that back. And I was so ready for a puck don't lie moment. I was so ready for us to come right back in and score. Doesn't really happen. 4:48 in, Marchand gets hooked coming into the offensive zone, ends up stripping the puck away from him because he gets blatantly hooked, right? So Lauko had worked through a call just to set up a goal that got waived. No call. And then Marchand, over the blue line, gets hooked. No call. And this isn't, I don't like doing the whole ref thing. You know that. I don't like doing that. But what's fun about this is Marchand kindly reminds the referee to do his fucking job as he skates back to the defensive end. And I think he made 2 comments here. Because usually they'll let you make the one. So I'm guessing he made the second one too. And they call him for unsportsmanlike. Soft, man. I hate using the word soft, but soft. So we're going back on the penalty kill. And just to rehash, the reason it's so frustrating, if you're a Montreal fan watching this, I think you can appreciate this. And we're going to get to your point. Don't worry, we're going to get to yours. I think you can appreciate this. You've had basically 3 calls, end of the second, early in the third, that were just not great. Sorry, end of the second. 3 calls, end of the second. They were just really soft. And it just came out of nowhere because they were letting them play. And then the third starts, you lose your lead, and then you score a goal, and it's the softest goaltender interference call on the planet. And it gets waived. And then you're getting just manhandled out there. Montreal was very physical. You can't buy a call, and you jaw the ref for it, and he gives you a penalty. If at that portion of the game you were like, holy shit, the refs have money on this one, I wouldn't even blame you, because that was a 30-minute span of blatantly one-sided refereeing. Awful. And no, do I think it was malicious? Not at all. Just think it was incompetence. That's all I think it was. And so what do the refs do? They turn around and they go, okay, well, we got to make sure we're making the calls for the rest of the game. Because again, they're not trying to get Montreal to win, but they certainly are sitting there going, okay, we really set this precedent. Like, infractions are getting called now. We 29 seconds left of the penalty kill. We get a call, and McAvoy gets hooked. While he's attempting to clear the puck, we move the puck up. He gets hooked. Arm goes up. McAvoy gets a scoring chance in the transition as they feed him in the slot, and he gets hooked again, preventing the scoring chance. The only reason they called 2 here is because the arm was already up, and then there was a blatant penalty that prevented a scoring chance. They couldn't get away with not calling it. And again, not that I think they would have tried to get away with it, but they hate calling 2 penalties at the same time, and I kind of get it. Either way, They're going to call them both. We're going to get a 4-on-3 for 29 seconds and then a 5-on-3 for the rest of it. And it is fucking pedestrian. It's horrendous, especially once we got to the 5-on-3. Not a lot of puck movement, just trying to force feed Pasta. He's shooting through multiple bodies. We have 2 extra players on the ice. We never had a real scoring chance on it. Just pedestrian. And if you lose the game after that, now you're at, 7 minutes left of the game, something along those lines, or 8 minutes left of the game, whatever it is. If you lose the game now, every Bruins fan goes, well, you had your chance, and it doesn't even look like you tried. 7-11 left. Pearson's going to go for tripping. Going back to the power play. A lot of power plays in a row for us. And 6 seconds in, we win the faceoff. The puck gets moved to Pastrnak deep in the left circle, and he's just going to throw this on net. And Marchand's there, goes off his foot in the net. We'll take a lucky bounce. 2-2 power play goal. We will take that. 4:18 left. Gallagher gets in the blue paint after the whistle. Swayman takes exception to that. Starts giving a little head taps. Gallagher gets upset. He rips Swayman's helmet off. Swayman dives on him. The whole team collapses to protect their goalie. What was the best part of this? Swayman wants the smoke. I mean, look at this picture. He wants the smoke. But as that picture's happening, Gallagher comes right up to him after the scrum, tries to get in his face. Forbort has none of it. Rushes over, immediately shoves Gallagher to the side. You don't talk to my fucking goalie. This team sticks up for each other, and I just love it. And Swayman's laughing at him. Laughing at him. We're going to go to overtime. We have the puck for about the first 2.5 minutes. And never have a real scoring chance. I don't know, man. Sometimes it's just not your night. It's just not your night. They'll end up scoring. Pastrnak was out there for like 2 minutes, and I don't know what he was trying to do. I really don't. But when he finally goes for a change, it's after the puck's been turned over, and we've got a guy behind the play now, and it's a rush into our zone. First shot gets blocked down, but it gets blocked down to Goulet, Gouli, I think it's Gouli, who has Swayman already down in his belly and gets to fire past him. I'm not really putting a lot of blame on anyone in this one. It's an overtime goal. It's a bad bounce. It happens. It's 3-2 final. And that's your game. I didn't write down game notes, but I'll tell you what. The Bruins need a little more firepower. They do. And they're relying on the goalies a lot. And I think these are minor things right now, right? The firepower, we're still getting used to some stuff. We're going to see how that develops. But I think it's pretty clear we need another top guy. That's all right. Every team's in a different stage. They need different things. The goaltending's been fantastic. And it is good enough to maintain a certain level of play. Like a 950 save percentage, certainly not. But like certain level of excellence that's going to win us a lot of games. You would like to see more efforts where you just won because the 5 skaters in front of the goalie were better. And I think it's been a mixed bag of that. You've won some games like that, but you've certainly won some games you deserve to lose if not for your goaltending. And it's just something to watch. It's not something I'm freaking out about by any means. The physicality, though. Not used to watch this team get pushed around. I think a lot of people said that that's becoming a trend, and I don't see it that way. But I did see it tonight. This team got pushed around. And again, sometimes it's just not your night. But it's disappointing when you see your team get pushed around like that. And I think you got to credit Montreal for... They just said, hey, we're going to bring it to them. Whatever happens, we're going to bring it to them. And they did. Wave after wave, shift after shift. They got in our face. And you got to give them a lot of credit. But fuck them. And I mean that. Fuck them. Go Bees. Go Bees! And a huge thank you to those of you who have joined the membership program. Our top line tier members, Darren Woodbury, Micro Sausage, Breathe In, Breathe Out, Brett Arney, Pincent, Justin Barnard, Nick Zatrullo. And a massive thank you to the all-star tier members, Thupton D. Tashi, Jonathan Harvey, the Spoked Brown Tiger, D.A. Kingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Doots42, and Jeremy. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your support, and go Bees.